Hello, and welcome to the Tacticool Project. I'm your host, as always, Tacticool, working every day to bring you the best guns, gear, and knife channel available on YouTube. And in today's video, we're going to go ahead and take a look at my Poncho liner. This is Rothko's version of it. And let's go ahead and just dive right in. The reason why I went ahead and got one of these is because I wanted a lightweight alternative to a sleeping bag, and I didn't want to go buy one of the cheap bivy bags, and I didn't want to keep a actual sleeping bag. You know, I wanted something a little bit more modular, a little bit more flexible, and definitely a lot lighter. And whenever I was looking around, the Poncho liner or Woobie, depending on who you're asking, the two terms are interchangeable. So that got a little confusing whenever I was trying to do research on these and figure out if I really wanted one or not. Is because you know, I didn't realize until a little bit into it that the terms were interchangeable. They weren't. They were the same thing. My initial impressions were that I really like it a lot. You know, has nice stitching, has double stitching. You know, where you'd want it, like right here on the ties that hold these on. The ties are holding up nice. So far, they're pretty much just shoestrings. So if these come out, I'll just put on some hollowed out 550 cord. So do that. Has the military cleaning instructions, you know, on what to do. Features. I already talked about the ties. It's 82 by 62 inches, made of ripstop waterproof nylon. Has a fiber fill, which sort of like, it's just that fibrous stuff. That's what's on the inside of it to keep you warm. And that's about it. You can get them in a variety of colors, you know, coyote tan, OD green, black, ACU digital camo. You know, just basically, if you can think of a color, you can probably come up with one that's in that color or something that'll go with it. I personally just like black. Specifications already pretty much covered. Aftermarket modifications. Now, this is something that I got confused with whenever I first bought it. Is you buy these and you hear Poncho liner, and you're like, oh, cool, I can put this on over my head and use it with my poncho. Well, here we go, let's get this out here. There is nowhere for your head on the Poncho liner to be. There's nowhere. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take this to a seamstress and get her to cut me a hole here in the middle and put some Velcro on it that'll double over so that it doesn't rub on my neck, and so that it'll fold down flat again too. And that way I can put it on over my head, use it like a regular poncho, and then put my regular poncho on over top, so that basically I have a winter jacket and also a you know, it'll work for the sleeping bag purposes, and it'll work as just a really nice jacket if I need to in a pinch. Methodology use. This would be great. I keep this particular one in my get home bag along with a poncho, so that I can use it as a sleeping bag. After I get the aftermarket modification, it'll double as like a extra layer of warmth if I want to put it on over whatever it is I'm wearing, and then put on my poncho on over top of that. They're great for, like I said, get home bag, camping, you know, if you're into really lightweight primitive camping, because whenever you have this in a poncho, then, you know, if you want to, you can just use this to cover up with and use your poncho as a shelter. So then you have a really lightweight setup. It's good for hunting. You know, it's really lightweight. If you wanted to take it out, you know, in case for some reason you got turned around in the woods or something and had to spend the night, It'd be good for that. I've used them as throws just around my house, you know, to keep warm. But really, I like keeping them in cars as like emergency blankets or for get home bags. And they also work on bug out bags too. You know, if you can't afford like a really nice heavy duty sleeping bag, you know, I wouldn't say that this is good for, like, you know, really probably below 40 degrees. I would be a little uncomfortable in it. But if you're in an area where it doesn't really get below that, think about this in a poncho instead of a full-on sleeping bag. They're going to work really good. Price and value. I was able to get this one for, I believe it was $28 with free shipping on Amazon. But if you can find it 30 bucks and maybe, like, you know, $3 or $4 shipping, you're doing pretty good for yourself. My rating after I used it, I would rate this at probably a 7, maybe an 8 out of 10 on this one. Like I said, it doesn't have an actual place for your head to go on a poncho liner. Why would you call it a poncho liner? Just call it like a, you know, a blanket to drag into your sleeping bag to use it. So if it had that line through it, it would definitely be a 10 for your head to go through. And also, if these ties were hollowed out 550 cord, I would give it a better rating than that too. It'd probably be, if it had that head hole and these were hollowed out 550 cord, it would be 10 out of 10 all day long. Those are really the only two things holding it back. Other than that, like the actual material they used and the stitching they used, all that stuff was great. I would definitely recommend getting one of these. You know, just keep in your get home bag, or even keep it with your sleeping bag, because you know, you can drag it into your modular sleeping bag or whatever it is and give yourself you know, another 5 or 10 degrees that it can cool down and you'll still be warm. That's all I have for you today. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe so that you can be one of the first to view my videos as they become available. That's all I got for you today. Tack out.